Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Francine, and this is my channel, The Hermetic Herald, here for another reading for you guys. If you notice my throat or my voice seems to be a little bit off, it's because I'm kind of getting over a cold. I think a lot of people got sick during the winter. So as we get into the end of the winter, I'm excited to not get this sick. My voice will be a little raspy, but I wanted to come in and talk about two people. I want to come from a place of looking at what the cards have to say, what their spirit team has to say, because I am clairaudient primarily, so I channel messages in addition to reading tarot. So this channel is not specifically tarot readings, it's more so intuitive readings. So we're going to see what comes through for Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan. If I'm saying his name incorrectly, please let me know. But yeah, I want to see what's going on between them. What can we expect from these two? What's going on as far as like the soul level, like their connection? Is it transcending lifetimes, something that's happened before? Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Spirit team, please assist me. Thank you so much, first of all, for being here. Thank you for the information and insight we're going to receive. Please help me understand Barry Keoghan and Sabrina Carpenter. Okay, so they want to tell us a story. Whenever cards come out like this many, there's a story. Seven of Pentacles is the first one. We have the Magician coming out. The Seven of Wands. Okay. Four of Pentacles. The Three of Cups, and the Moon. 6 cards. 6 is typically a karmic number. Typically it represents soulmate relationships or soul ties. 7 of Pentacles is typically about the energy of feeling impatient or feeling like there's something that you have birthed or have been creating for quite some time. It's usually a card of like longevity. This person has gone through all 7 Pentacles and now they're looking at they're surveying their work. So there's an energy here of like looking at the relationship already. There's a very reflective energy, same word, in regards to these two. They think a lot about each step that they're making. It feels like they tend to talk back, like talk to each other and reflect on the relationship if there is one. We will see. They say that is what's going on right now, but I want to see what we can get from the tarot before I look into newspapers, or no one looks into newspapers anymore, right? It's all online. Magician. Okay, it's about manifesting something. Manifesting, or at least having the creative ability to put and weave things together using all the elements. So there's something about them manifesting each other into each other's life, regardless of what capacity they have with each other, whether they continue to date, if they are dating, whether they are friends. There's something about them manifesting each other from years prior. And I'm hearing years later, and the number 7 is significant because we have 2 7s bordering the Magician. So 7 is significant for these two. 7 years ago, they could have thought, I want a guy, for instance, with Sabrina, I want a guy that's like this, and he was the guy. So vice versa as well for Barry. So the 7 of Wands is usually the energy of defensiveness, standing your ground. 4 of Pentacles is about holding on to material, or at least to your possessions, being very protective of yourself and of your property, the things that you hold close to yourself. 3 of Cups is here, which is usually about celebration. It's about toasting. It's about soul tribe, enjoying the people around you that resonate with you deeply. The Moon is here as well. They're both very protective of each other, protective of talking and getting to the deep innermost part of each other. These two are holding back. There's some secrets between the two of them. Barry has his own secrets and Sabrina has her own. There's a disconnect, meaning their hearts are not completely open to each other. Regardless of what they have going on, there's a bit of defensiveness. And this could be residual healing that needs to be done from other people. So they're trying to tell us right off the rip that they have something that could go, or feels like it's going long, like it feels long for them, which is not a good feeling to have in a relationship, guys. Because if you feel like you're already tired, or you're looking back at your relationship and thinking, what happened in such a short period of time, that tells me that they're getting a little bit overwhelmed by the relationship. It might be showing them all the things that they don't know if they're ready to talk about yet, which is what relationships are meant to do. So I feel like they recognize that they resonate with each other, their soul tribe in some regard, because I feel like there's a connection on a soul level. It's not just attractiveness and just like great conversation. So there's that coming in, but there's also this hesitancy of pursuing something deeper, because someone's, or both of them are holding on to something. I feel like both of them are. What's interesting is I'm getting Sabrina as holding off a little bit more. She's a little more disconnected from him than he is. And I'm hearing, then you may realize. She's a bit more disconnected, and my third eye is itching. Because I feel like she's a little more defensive. She's kind of playing the field. She's not getting too deeply invested in him because she doesn't know. She doesn't truly know him yet. And sometimes resonating with someone can scare you, okay? In a sense where you feel like you may pour out too much to them and you may not get that in return. It's kind of like feeling like you have to protect yourself. Bottom of the deck is the King of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. Taking it slow. The slow game is what they're doing right now. And they're also focusing on their interests sexually, like as far as their attractiveness and like their prowess. They're focusing on the physical. They're keeping it light. I feel like they're trying to keep it casual. So let's keep going. That's the overall energy for these two. Okay, so let's see. What other messages do you have for Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan? This one's for them. By the book. So they're taking it one step at a time. One step at a time. Number 11. Usually the number 11 is like divine timing at play. Like them meeting each other at the perfect time. So there's like this steadfast thing where they're going step by step with each other. And they're kind of seeing what happens. There's no pressure there. We have why. A change in the wind. New life. All that glitters. And unfinished symphony. They need to close some cycles with some other people. I'm getting the energy that they're kind of taking it little by little because they have someone on the side that they still are trying to understand. Like they're trying to understand some ex or someone from the past while they're seeing each other. And it's kind of like this energy of like, let's just kind of see how this goes. Unfinished. They have unfinished stuff to do, guys. I don't think this doesn't feel energetically like it's set in stone. It feels more like it's a waiting game. They're trying to just kind of bide their time. So let's keep going. There's someone else on either end. Okay. Yeah, they're both in their power though. Don't get me wrong. They're empowered by this relationship, but they also are not committed completely. They're good-natured is what my spirit team is saying. Good-natured. I'm hearing on Barry's side, good-natured man. He's a good-natured guy. He kind of goes with it, rolls with the tides. I'm hearing black. I don't know. Something about him maybe being a little bit darker because of his experiences, kind of darkening his perspective. So he feels like a little pessimistic right now. All right. So what is his feeling? What does he feel towards Sabrina? We're going to do external. What external feelings does he have towards Sabrina Spirit? Oh my gosh. Story. Okay. He has two sides to him where he feels like on one end he feels the devil energy, the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Wands. He feels like she's a drug to him. He feels like she's like calling and beckoning to him energetically and he can't help it. Toxic patterns. I feel like there's something about him being drawn to her. And it's something deep within him. Like when he gets drawn to certain people like this, where he just is like he's insatiable, like he's just attracted to them, he just wants them. And then there's this other side of him that comes through with the Sun, right? The Two of Cups, the King of Swords, wanting to express his interest, admiration, but being very hesitant, trying to be very good-natured and positive, even if the person may not know what they want. There's this energy of her not knowing quite what she wants, Sabrina, and defending herself a bit more, and him trying to be steadfast and patient and waiting and trying to be good-natured, but wanting her a lot. So they're trying to tell us there's two sides to this, okay? There's two emotions coming through. He has to kind of quell it, is what I'm hearing. Is he Irish? Because I'm hearing an accent as I get those words. So external, internal. Wow. I'm gonna tell you guys what I see here in a second. These, would you like me to take them? They're giving me stories today. His external vibe, guys, is the Three of Pentacles. He feels like a friend to her. He feels very like communicative with her, wants to have a good foundation laid where they're good friends first. He's really passionate about being a friend, being kind, being compassionate, regardless of what they pursue, if they even pursue or have a relationship. Friendship is how he externally presents the relationship. At the very least, he likes her, right? That's important in any relationship. Now, external, this is going to be external as well. We have the World sideways, which means he's kind of feeling... I'm hearing traveling the world. He wants to experience life. He has yet to experience a lot of things. And I feel like he's also seeing her as someone he can travel with. And really, I'm hearing sojourn, like travel, another word. Basically, he just feels like the world is his oyster with her. So externally, he feels like she's a part of what the world has for him. He feels really open. He's open to what happens and what comes through. Now, this also came out later on, but it feels like it's meant to come out for his external feelings, Empress, on the side, which is usually constantly, it's an energy of like consistency. He feels like she is the Empress. Damn. Or he feels abundant with her, feels like she's a very abundant person, very luscious. He really, really is attracted to her. And so I feel like he just has this really, like she beckons to him, kind of like a siren. That energy is coming through this reading. His internal feelings, I'll get to in a second. Let's get to Sabrina. How does she feel externally towards him? Wow, okay. Anything else to it? Sagittarius season is significant for these two. Look at this, guys. She has the Knight of Wands and the Lovers. She sees him as a hottie, or like someone she's really attracted to, someone she would be really interested in pursuing. Very determined, very outgoing, very like, she feels like she can be her, like kind of be her more of an outgoing person around him. She feels like she can just like rush in. Lover's energy is what you would expect. Lovers is that she really, really likes him. She really feels like he's like a partner, regardless of what that means. And I feel like I keep hearing partner in crime, like feeling like they have like a bond that transcends this time, like this life. Feels like it's something that like it just comes so easily for these two. They Three of Cups came out earlier for them. They feel like they knew each other right away. They got really familiar with each other right away, and there was an interest and a desire there between the two of them. There was definitely an attraction, on both ends. Now, with regards to the internal feelings, how he feels, he has the Ten of Cups for her. He also has the Five of Wands, though. Now, let's look at the stories, because there's a story for him. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Hierophant. He wants to be the one to date her. He feels like he's stuck. He feels like he wants to go forward, but he doesn't want to be too like forward with her, or like too like quick about it. And so he's indecisive about pursuing her, but he wants that. So it's the energy of feeling uncomfortable a bit because you're fighting your feelings and you feel like this person's really it for you, or feeling like they're actually like someone really close, and like I feel like the connection he has with her is like something he doesn't feel often, and he feels like he wants to pursue it, but he doesn't want to scare her. That's the energy. Oh my gosh. It's just like he's fighting his feelings really hard. He's trying to take it little by little, guys. Little by little. For her, her external vibe was this. Let's look into it. We have the Judgment card. We have the Temperance card, Major Arcana, Strength, King of Swords, the Sun, and the Two of Cups. She's holding off on telling him what she would like as far as a relationship goes. She's holding off. She wants to say it. She actually knows what she feels, but she wants to hold off. So the depths in which when you guys look at them online, it can go way deeper than that, but they're kind of holding off. Energetically, they're protecting themselves, and she's doing the same thing. She's not sure. She's holding off for the right moment to talk to him about this. Maybe because they have other things going on in the moment and they can't really focus on it emotionally. Yeah, but they really want to talk about their dreams, aspirations, like what they see going forward with each other. Now, let's look at her internal feelings towards him. That will tell us a lot. What are her internal feelings? Okay, so we have another story. We have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. Clarified by the Five of Swords, the Star, the King of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Hermit. She knows that he's going through something also, where he may know what he wants, but he also is going through some it's like there's something in his past with Barry. If you guys know, please let me know in the comments. There's something about his past where he had he had a wall up as well. This is the mutual wall. It's stronger on Sabrina's end, but his wall is also there, and she's trying to be insightful about it, think before she does something, even though she feels it in her bones. She feels the connection. She just wants to make sure. She's kind of fighting destiny, or fighting the energetic, how things are going. She's not going with the flow as much right now. She's kind of trying to fight it and trying to focus on friendship, because I see Page of Pentacles, friendship. I see it as starting something. It's about being a student, getting to know him. She's focusing on getting to know him, as she should. You don't want to of course, throw yourself in a situation where you're not thinking, right? She's logically trying to get to know this person, focus on what she's hearing and what she's experiencing with him, and she's also at the same time being combative with fate at the same time, the way it's supposed to go. She's trying to force it to go a certain way. Energetically, this is not she's actually saying this to him. She's just energetically shifting things in a way. Please clarify why. So yeah, she feels like there's distance because maybe she has other things priorities right now, career-wise. She's looking forward to the future. She thinks there's time. So therefore she's we have all the time in the world. We have time to get to know each other, time to do this and that. And so she's kind of trying to see this far off. She's trying to not get overwhelmed or anxious. So she's saying it's okay. It's going to happen eventually if it's meant to. I mean, that's not a bad thing, not a bad way to look at things, but sometimes it kind of makes you feel like you can slow down, and you slow down quite a bit. Work is her focus. Work is her focus, guys. 100%. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Pentacles, King of Cups, and then the Ace of Swords. Her joy is found primarily in her interacting. It's found primarily in her craft. And so she's trying to protect that as well. His emotions are very sweet towards her. I feel like he's willing to just kind of see how it goes as well. Just to confirm, I just like to do that every time with readings because that helps people can also trust what I'm saying. Let me confirm what they're saying in regards to the relationship. Is there a relationship? because it can always be something else. It could be PR, it could be a friendship, it could be a number of things. Who knows, right? Is this a relationship? Are they in a relationship? Okay, another story. Spirit. Let's get one card because I want to make sure we talk about that. Could you give me one card? Are they in a relationship, Spirit? Okay, we got 2 cards. We have the 4 of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Oh my gosh, they're not official. She's calling the shots in the sense where she's going to be the one to speak out about it. But what's happening is they're just focusing on friendship, focusing on how it's progressing, and it's progressing so quickly to the point where they're very impatient and they're like, okay, I don't think we can hold off on talking about it. So they're feeling like right now they're tabling it, they're resting it. They are not officially in a relationship. They may show each other affection because they're casual, but they're not officially in a relationship. They kind of have taken time to think about it, and I feel like Sabrina is going to be the one, and I'm pointing to my computer because it has a picture of them. That's what I use to channel. So yeah, they are definitely thinking about it and tabled it. And now she's going to be the person to talk about it. It's been like that for a little bit, maybe even 4 months, because the number 4 is significant here. So 4 months ago, she may have been the person to say, like, let's just kind of like see how it goes. Let's just take some time and not worry about it, rest, and then now she's ready. All right, and that's the impatient energy I'm getting. Yeah, something's going to start up. They're going to actually have to talk about this. I think they're like willing to do what it takes, like to see what happens. Yeah, I feel like they're at a fork in the road with regards to you guys knowing about it and how they're going to deal with it in public, but they know what they feel. They have like a friendship that's it's pretty settled. It's now just kind of like dealing with the emotions that they have of attractiveness towards each other. So yeah, what's the trajectory, Spirit? What is the trajectory of this relationship? Oh, okay. I'll tell you guys what I got in a second. Let's keep going. What is their trajectory? Oh my gosh. So many stories, guys. There's like a lot of information here. What is their trajectory? Let's keep going. Oh my gosh, shady shit, man. Shady shit is really coming through in this reading. I'm not liking that. So the first card was the 7 of Swords that came through for the trajectory, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Wands, but it came through flipped, the 5 of Wands in reverse, and the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. So Sabrina's going to run away from this. So what I'm getting is that she's going to be the person to either run from a situation, like say, I don't think I'm ready, I don't think this is a good thing for us, like going deeper into it. Being friends is probably best. She's going to be the person to communicate with him about that. And it goes back to this past person that she was dealing with. Who is she dealing with? Because she still has unfinished business with them. Meaning, energetically, she's holding on to them. Energetically, she has people that she needs to end things with, like on a soul level, like heal them. Like she needs to heal certain things. Because it's causing this disruption with her balance. She's not very balanced. She will not be balanced when she tells him no. Or when she decides to close this out. And that's the part that gets me. So we're all entitled to free will, but is it best? I don't know. I think that she will choose what is best for her in the moment, but I feel like this is going to end. This is actually going to be something that she initiates ending. She's going to be the one to initiate it. Was this ever PR? Just like something that kind of worked both ways. They were friends, but then they also, you know, their teams were trying to put them together. Was this PR, Spirit? We had 2 cards that flipped over. It was the Ace of Cups and the 2 of Wands in reverse. Was this PR? We got a lot of cards, guys. So the first 2 cards, as I said, were the 2 of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Cups. The 2 of Wands in reverse is telling me, usually it's about planning something ahead. It was not planned, okay? Either it was not planned or it was planned way, way before they knew about it. Meaning someone already thought about it, said, let's just get them in a room together and see how they do. And they did exceedingly well. So it's like that energy of like, of them not knowing. So let's see. Keep going, Spirit. Was this PR? There were more cards, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Was this PR? Queen of Cups came through. They're telling me something interesting. I usually get a yes or no. This one's a little bit more complicated. This one is saying that her team, Sabrina's team, tried to plan this out. Sabrina's team tried to plan this out as a way of helping her move on. That's interesting. Because I have also the 5 of Swords, the Star, and the 8 of Swords. They kind of pushed her to do it. So this was kind of initiated by someone else. They kind of pushed her to do it or had her feel that way. Is that correct, Spirit? I always like to check in. Is that correct? We have the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Emperor. Yeah, so she... The story is deeper. The story is more complicated than some relationships. So yeah, someone else tried to initiate this with her and kind of get them going, like kind of get the relationship or a conversation started between them. But I feel like she was very hesitant, very like burdened by other things. I feel like emotionally she was burdened by another person. She has some things to heal. And I feel like that came through in her reading back in the day. 10 of Wands and the 7 of Cups is like, I'm going through too much. I'm going through a lot of illusions and I'm dealing with a really difficult time. And I feel like they wanted to kind of push her out of that. So they kind of like just impressed upon her, hey, hang out with this person. They're really cool. And she then began a friendship and didn't expect to, I'm sure, with Barry. So that is what I have for you guys today. Let's see if there's anything left. Let's see what the dynamic is between them, actually, with regards to their archetypes. And I feel like healing messages are really important, so we're going to do that as well. So we're not done yet. Let's see. What was Barry's light attributes, Spirit? What is his light attributes in the relationship? Artist. He is the artist archetype. He is someone who is able to express a dimension of life beyond the 5 senses and inspires people. He inspires her. Energetically, she's inspired and she feels like a drive with him. He's the athlete. He wants to hold... It's something about him. He has like a chivalrous energy where he wants to help her. He really wants to nurture and foster her, like in general, as a friend, no matter what. Dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit, very strong spirit. Wants to be able to hold the people he cares about and help them through a situation. He also is a rebel. We have someone who challenges authority to affect social change. Someone who rejects spiritual systems that don't serve their inner needs. He's also the destroyer, releasing what is destructive in life and preparing for new life. He's also the king archetype. He's very like benevolent and sweet, very mothering energy, very nurturing. What's interesting is we have 2 blue cards, which tells me that he's really good at kind of, I'm hearing breaking the ice, where when he communicates with you, it's like you feel calm, you feel comfortable, you feel safe. Very benevolent. He may come off masculine, but he still has this energy of being very like, very calming, very, I don't feel like he has to raise his voice much. Something about his voice is significant here as well. What are his shadow attributes between the 2 of them that she should be aware of here? Oh, that's interesting. There's more. That felt interesting when I was taking that out. I don't feel like there's going to be too many cards, so I'm going to put that back. What else, Spirit? What other shadow attributes are there? Oh my gosh. I put that back and it came out again. Okay, Spirit. Let's keep going. First card for him, his shadow attribute is Detective. Okay. He kind of likes to play his... Okay, he likes to play it cool when he feels like when he feels, I'm hearing inundated. When he feels overwhelmed or inundated, he tends to avoid losing his cool, he'll say things in a certain way that hides what he feels or what he thinks. He's kind of cool, calm, and collected in those moments, but he also is like very aware and sees and watches things before he looks at things and waits for them to play out. And I feel like he sensed with Sabrina that there is like a way that she would respond when he mentioned relationships or anything of the sort. And I feel like he recognized it as a detective and said, okay, holding off. Child Wounded is telling me that he has some tendency of having this victim mentality at times and blaming like dysfunctional relationships on other people, but doesn't forgive them. So he has some unforgiveness to work through. He also... yeah, self-pity again with the Martyr card. He places here with the Guide financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. So he tends to be conditional on how he shares things. Like if it doesn't affect him, he's not going to put himself out on the line for someone. So he's kind of considerate of like protecting himself, protecting his energy. With regards to Sabrina, because I have only a couple minutes of data on my camera, what cards can we look at? Networker. She's very smooth, very good with communication with people. Very, very like, has a lot of empathy, has a lot of just like an energy of someone who has their heart on their sleeve. Someone who sheds light on things and is open. Very open energy comes through with her, with Sabrina. Hero, heroine, she's very empowering as well. So great things. If you guys are liking this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Doing so will help people see this in the algorithm here. Thank you so much for those of you that are supporting this channel and this message. So she also has the God archetype, benevolence, compassion, and recognizing the eternal force within herself and others. And she also knows when people are using her energy or trying to drain her energy. What are her shadow attributes? So she tends to rely on luck rather than hard work. So she needs to be careful with just going into things blindly, which is why I think she's taking her time with him. Inappropriate use of sensuality. So she needs to be careful with not looking at the material aspects of life in her career path, because they might try to take away from her, take something from her that is way more impactful and way more powerful, way more valuable than the money. So there's something about her dealing with that in the relationship, and also attachment to money and power. She needs to be careful of that. So there's a number of things here with regards to their dynamic. I have to cut it short, guys, because my camera will die. But I hope this helps you guys understand her a bit better. If I come back on, I may just do a healing message for them and add it to this video. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope to see you guys soon. And check out my information on my YouTube for more. My description box has all my information. So stay tuned and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello everyone, so I'm back to continue Sabrina Carpenter's and Barry's Keoghan his reading. So we had a lot of information come through. Let's continue. I feel like when I was doing the reading earlier, I had to cut it short because of how much space I had. So I want to continue with Sabrina's a bit more because I feel like there's more to talk about there. So Spirit team, what other attributes are something that we should notice with regards to Sabrina in the relationship? Like, how is Sabrina as far as her light attributes is a concern? That's interesting that I said it like that. Child magical, very youthful energy, someone who's also seeing the potential for beauty in all things, the belief that anything and everything is possible. So she's kind of like a sprite. This energy of being free spirited, of not being confined by anyone. She wants to remain young in spirit and body and in mind. So she brings that to the relationship. Is there any other light attributes that she brings that we didn't talk about? Okay. She's also the athlete archetype, which is dedication to transcending physical limitations, including her handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. So she's a very strong spirited person. She also wants him to know that she would hold up her end of any relationship that she's in, whether she's with him or otherwise. It feels like she wants him to see that she's an equal partner. Athlete energy is someone, it reminds me of Atlas. When you think of Atlas holding on to the world, or at least carrying the world on his shoulders, it's a whole lot. She's willing to take the brunt or take the burden equally though with the person. Rebel, she's also the rebel like he is. Okay. Child orphan, so this is about independence, not letting yourself completely depend on other people. This could be a trauma response though that she might have to deal with. And storyteller, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Very fun energy though. Fun, but when it gets to the depths of her her healing process, there's some things that she needs to recover from, is what I'm hearing. What shadow attributes can we talk about, Spirit team? Okay, shadow. She has fears of verbal abuse, of people verbally abusing her. Specifically, you can say everyone does, right? But this is not what I'm not talking about that. We all have like a trepidatious energy like surrounding that. Whenever we start to see someone flare up or act out, we're like, oh no. I feel like she has a fear in relationships of that person doing that to her. So she's a bit more protective, more defensive, more expectant almost of that thing. And she might have a tendency of, when she's crazy about someone, like getting into that habit of resorting to being this bully archetype when she's really hurt. She tries to do what they do to her, or she tries to conceal her fears behind being very harsh and saying harsh things or doing harsh things. So she needs to just be wary of that in this relationship. These are things to look out for between the two of them that is specific to the two of them. This is why I do this section of the reading. I feel like I need to make that clear. These archetypes are what they bring to the relationship. And this can be something that they, like if they ever see this in the future, something to help so that they don't end up in these shadow energies here. Because I feel like he's very nonchalant, and he kind of likes to be stoic when he's upset. And I feel like she might end up trying to get him to respond or to feel by getting really upset and bullying him in a sense. That can happen in arguments, so they need to be wary of that, of her trying to push him out or pull him out of being aloof when he's mad. This came out for her earlier, didn't it? So she needs to be careful of placing material considerations above self-empowerment, being careful with going along with something when money is involved. So if she feels like this is done, like what I saw with regards to their trajectory, if she decides that she doesn't want to be with him, cutting ties completely and not trying to entertain it because people are saying, hey, if you guys are seen together, we can make more money for your album or things like that. Her team, her PR team might attempt to do that, to make something out of it. And she has to be very, very, very staunch is what I'm hearing, very straightforward, and say, no, I want to do what I feel is best for my fans, how they see me, what the reality of the situation is. I want to be honest with them. She needs to do that more. So her team is going to have to, I'm hearing, consolidate some things. They have they're trying to do what's in her best interest, but there's something about her team, okay? They're trying to get her to be friendly with different things in different ways. And earlier I said actress, and I realized as I was looking at the video prior, the beginning of this video or the beginning of this reading, I realized I said actress, and I feel like she may get into that at some point down the road if she hasn't already. So that could also help her with that as well. Let's keep going with healing messages for Sabrina. What is Sabrina healing through this relationship or interaction with Barry? Masculine energy, guys. Barry is a great example of someone who is honoring of the masculine energy, but they also have an understanding of what nurturing and the beauty of nurturance is, of being able to tune into someone, to understand where they're at and to meet them where they're at, not trying to force or impose something on someone. Very good at that. He's very good at staying aware of boundaries, okay? So she's healing that through him. She's also here healing duality. I feel like he's showing her that not all insert word are the same. Like not all people are the same. Not all guys are the same. So she's learning about the relationship she's had previously and the interests I'm hearing and the similarities between these people. Because I feel like Barry reminds her of other people that she's known along her path. She's learning. They're not all the same. Okay, Barry's not the same guy that you were interested in a different form. Not the same type of guy that you tend to attract or be interested in. Okay. What else is she doing? Anything else, Spirit? Spirit's highlighting to me the word children, and I don't want you guys to take this from 0 to 100 because I feel like that can happen with anyone. I feel like if I say children, people think they're pregnant. That's not always the case. She comes off as the Empress energy. Is she a Taurus? Because if she's a Taurus, that makes sense. Taurus energy is the Empress. She just comes off in her energy and in her power. Abundance is coming to her. More than that. Slow and steady. She's learning how to be slow and steady because I feel like she's had really quick relationships in her life. And she's learning how to cut off all of the things that were not completed. That's why she needs to end some things with other people before she can really embrace the new beginnings that are coming her way. So let's look at Barry. Is there anything else for her? Okay, she's learning as well, teaching. You see how this tree is firmly rooted? There's so many roots. She's learning about how everything is connected. She's learning how, as she's been single, like prior to this, or like as she's been staying like in the in-between relationships, she's kind of spending more time in hangman mode. Number 14 is hangman in the tarot. So it feels like she's in hangman position, deliberating on the people that she's gotten into or relationships into, or gotten into relationships with, why she got into relationships with them, all of the trends. And she's noticing trends with Barry as well. And I feel like that's why she's more hesitant to go further than it needs to be. She's being slow about it. That's a healing. That's actually a sign of her healing. So she's doing better. She's doing well in this relationship, in this endeavor, like them getting to know each other. But I do not see it. I see her leaving. I see her moving on. Okay. Spirit team, what is Barry healing? Okay, grounding. So he's learning how to ground, and I feel like he's also learning how not to ground with the physical things. He seems to have like maybe some interests in certain drugs and some certain things that ground him, and he's being told to be more aware of how to naturally ground and to take time for himself. Overeating, overindulging, overdrinking is coming through. He needs to integrate his experiences. I think he's kind of avoiding his experiences a bit more than she is. She's actually being more confrontational about it. And I feel like he's learning that in this relationship, he can slow down as well. And he can really take in what he's experienced so far. Okay. We also have creativity. He also is feeling very inspired by her. She's healing his creative, his sacral energy, like his ability to create something new. I feel like she's like a muse in a sense to him. It wasn't intentional for her to become a muse, but he feels like she is changing his perception of the world. And she's also bringing color to his life, bringing clarity, bringing beautiful things to his life. Empress energy. I feel like he sees like the world is way bigger because of her, and like with her he feels like there's so much more to experience. It's beautiful. I don't know, I heard the word Scorpio. I don't know if he has significant Scorpio placements, but that's significant. We also have changes. He's seeing how he's evolving as a person. 29 is significant. I don't know how old he is, but yeah, huge transitions, and he's seeing how everything's connected and it's okay. He's looking back at relationships that didn't work out and why, and he's feeling like he's getting a sense, I'm hearing prior to this he had a sense of complacency, but now he's actually saying, I can actually be content and satisfied with where I'm at. Huge transitions for him. He's getting a lot of transitions for himself, more than she is even. I feel like she's just learning how to kind of keep the pace going at what she's comfortable with and not forcing it like everyone else has tried to get her to force a relationship to happen. Beautiful. So that is what I have for you guys today. I hope that helps you understand these two a bit more. For members, I always like to go into depth with members, so if you guys have questions that you'd like me to tune into, that is going to be something I do, and it's usually in 3 tiers, 5, 10, and 20 a month, and that usually is way more specific. I do that because this information is for people that are fans, but also people that are more so involved with, I'm looking forward to talking to people that are actually related to these celebrities for confirmations as well. So I feel like it would be really great to get to know my members and the people that are really involved and are serious about this. So if you enjoy my readings, like, share, and subscribe. And that'll be what I leave you guys with. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.